Dhanalakshmi ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Kindly
Yes.
start. Welcome our professors.
Okay.
Sir, I welcome you for good afternoon, sir. Hello, sir.
Ma'am, shall I proceed, ma'am? Ma'am, shall I
Professor,
proceed, ma'am?
shortly, ma. We'll wait for a few minutes,
Okay,
ma.
ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Good afternoon, participants. I welcome for the today's afternoon session. I welcome all participants. I take the opportunity to welcome Professor Dr. Bhim Singh sir for delivering the topic UPQC configuration and control. We are all eagerly waiting for the comprehensive session on this topic. Now I request Professor to hand over the session, sir. Sir, kindly unmute your mic, sir. Sir, Professor Bhim Singh, sir.
Ma'am, sir, voice is not audible.
That's
Sir
why
has
I'm.
muted.
1 second, I'll call him.
Okay. Participants are kindly requested to mute yourself.
Kalpana? Kalpana?
Yes, ma'am.
இது வரைக்கும் ஸ்டாப் பண்ணிடலாம்.
Entire screen. Okay.
You select entire screen. Last one.
Okay.
अच्छा इसको कर दीजिए.
ये नहीं आता ना.
अच्छा इसको बंद कर दीजिए. Allow. आपको वीडियो ऑन कर लीजिए.
ये तो ऑन है, only have to select. ले रहा है ना? तो it's okay. Now I think they might be saying.
Right.
I think now it will be good. So like,
तो वो तो आपको सुन नहीं है.
I mean, can you see now?
Yes, sir. Full screen. Kindly keep it, sir. Full screen.
Now it's coming from my side, full screen only.
Okay,
Ma'am,
sir. Okay.
it is in full screen only, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Kindly.
No.
I invite you for the afternoon session, sir. They are all waiting for your lecture, sir.
Okay. Kitna? How many participants?
Now 60, sir. 60. Morning 100 attendance, sir.
Okay. No problem. Whatever is the number
They'll
anyhow.
be coming soon. They'll be joining
If you have
soon,
any
sir.
problem, if you have any problem, then please call me. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
And now you are able to still listen my voice.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Okay. So now I was talking about like initially single stage system, single phase and single stage system. I mean, like we use only one converter. This is voltage source converter here, and the DC link voltage we regulate corresponding to MPPT voltage of the solar PV. So here typically important is that what for we are using VSC, we are using for MPPT, we are using to convert this DC to power to AC power, and then we are doing additional features for load compensation also. As we discussed in the morning that this load may be having a requirement of harmonics or reactive power or both. So that also this converter should do it, and whatever the power of solar generation which locally you can feed the load, and remaining power should go to the grid So virtually we control the grid current in a manner that it remains in the phase of the voltage, so you get a power factor unity, means you reduce the harmonics as well as reactive power on the grid, including the compensation for the load. And this compensation we do for 24 hours, whether solar generation is there or not there. It means this converter work as a, like you can call it active filter or DStatCom, whatever you want to call it the name. So it serves the several additional function also, with that even the power generation is there or not. So that is the basic concept. Like the concept got reported typically in couple of publications in different form, which are shown there. So this is the typically the control. The control is that from PV voltage and PV current we sense it, and we do the MPPT from the power. Okay, so and we get the reference DC link voltage for MPPT for the solar. So we get a feedback voltage. This feedback voltage certainly will have a second harmonic because it's the nature of the single phase system. And DC link you will have certainly some second harmonic, whatever value of capacitor you put it, of course value may reduce it. So you have to pass through low pass filter, maybe with the cutoff frequency around because the ripple will be about 100 hertz for 50 hertz supply. So you have to keep a cutoff frequency around 25 hertz. Then you will be able to get only DC component here, and then you get a form typically the reference for MPPT. So you have a proportional indicator controller which is responsible for MPPT here. This we consider typically kind of loss. Suppose solar generation is not there, then this will be a loss of the converter which should come from the grid. It's a notional concept that it should come from the grid, or so like a active filter concept Now and another component is there what we are getting from load current. So from load current we are getting fundamental component, and from fundamental active component current that also should come from the grid So it's also we take a positive convention. This is also positive convention in the sense, let us say solar generation is not there, it should work as an active filter. So you must have some active power for the losses as well as to feed the load as far as grid side is concerned. So these are positive, and you can call it the power we are considering of solar power. This concept we have been a new concept, and because we are already measuring the voltage and current and we are estimating the power for MPPT, the same power we use for feed forward term. So we know in advance that okay, that much power is coming. So this equivalent current we consider it like with the minus sign because it's a disturbance. Its power is coming to the DC link, but this is as a loss from the DC link, and this is the coming power from the grid, for towards the converter. So with this we get the amplitude of supply current or grid current. We multiply with the phase. Phase we get by sensing the voltage, and from there are a lot of filters. We can get two component of phase and coordination, get the peak of it, and from peak we calculate the phase. And once we know the phase, multiply the typically phase of voltage, multiplied the amplitude of current, we get the phase, typically the reference current, and this reference current obviously in phase with the voltage, supply voltage, this one. And then we have a sense grid current, and we have a current controller so you give a getting signal. So this current, this current is supposed to come closer to the. So we have used many concepts here. The one important concept here is like a feed forward term. This will reduce the burden on this PI controller because the loss component is not supposed to be more than a couple of % in the loss in the converter. So but the major power is flowing in the solar when you have a solar power varying. If we account this as a feed forward term, this is a concept I have given to my student. They also couldn't digest initially, but I told, look, physically this power is coming, so we have to consider this power, and that really improves the response of the overall system, that we don't have any overshoot or undershoot on PI control. So design of PI control gets relieved from this concept So that is the control we implemented it, and we are able to get a successful MPPT for the different solar insolation level, and we are able to get, you can just see the typically the TAD of the grid current typically around of like a order of 4.3%. And these are the, of course, the different. So this is case of linear load, but if you talk about non-linear load, the grid current is sinusoidal, and this is the load is non-sinusoidal. So it's along with the solar power generation, it's working as a typically as an active filter also, and this is the voltage source converter current that is not only feeding the power generated by solar, but it also generating a harmonics for non-linear load here. So with this, the grid current TAD is 4.4%, however the load TAD is 29.2%. It's working along with the solar power generator, it's working as an active filter also, and the TAD, of course, in the inverter side current is less, 13.5. The major reason for this, because it's not only generating that much harmonic which load needs, it's taking active power which is going to grid also. So you can just see the power going to the, typically the grid is around 2.21 kilowatt. Where you have a power generation from the solar 4.21 kilowatt, and that much power is consumed by the load. So remaining power, after the losses, it goes to the grid. So it works as a solar power generation as well as it works as an active filter also along with the same. And of course, it will go on working as an active filter irrespective of how much is the solar generation. That virtually clear here that even if solar generation reducing, you can think about if the load is typically the constant, but if solar power generating changes, the voltage source converter also changing. And you can clearly see if load is also removed, still you are able to have a solar generation without any problem. Because grid current, go on changing, typically here. So you can clearly see, the grid current, as well as inverter currents are there, and when load is not there, the more power is fed to the grid. That's why current of grid is increasing. Earlier, some power going to this load from this converter, some power is going to the load, only remaining power going to the grid. But after load is removed, the entire power going to the grid at unity power factor. Power factor remain all the time unity here. And when the solar generation is changing, accordingly the all parameters are changing, but the active filtering, aspect is still continue in all the conditions. So that was single stage. We have gone to a two-stage system also. Two-stage system, one more novelty we did it. Of course, now two-stage system, you have to have a solar PV here, but now the question is that, a solar PV rating now, you can consider the voltage rating of it. In this case, if it is a 220 grid here, you have to keep around 380 to 400. Then the open circuit voltage of solar can be around 400. About that. So boost converter is only boosting for MPPT. Since open circuit, this voltage equal to this reference voltage, so you can have. But one more aspect we work in the research in India, that if the algorithm works in India very well, it will work in everywhere in the world. Because even we can feed the sinusoidal current to the grid here, but it's not necessarily the grid voltage are sinusoidal. Grid voltage may be constant. The grid voltage normally in India is fluctuating over a wide range, I mean, depending upon the where is the location, it might change from 170 to 270. That is we are considering. So what we look into another aspect apart from that we take a feed forward turn, okay, so that PI controller is not having such problem. But we consider that this DC link voltage within a certain range we can put, I mean, with as a function of this AC voltage, and we can reduce the losses in the inverter. That another aspect also, the concept of novelty, we put it along with the feed forward term. And still the load compensation remain there. I mean, that justify that reduction of the losses in the voltage source converter justify to use of another converter and to take care of the losses of this. Still we are able to feed more power here to the grid compared to single stage. The another benefit of two stage is there now. None of the voltage is more than 400 volt. In previous case, if you want a 400 volt, then PV voltage have to be typically around 15 to 20% more in single stage. That's supposed to be like a 460 volt for 400 here. Then only MPPT will come around 400 in the previous single stage. But here, the PV voltage can be taken little lower, like open circuit voltage 400, and all the device voltage rating can be around 400 only, not really 460 or 500 volt. So that was the penalty in single stage we have to pay, which is not here like now. So single stage have an advantage that you have some additional losses in the boost converter, but the saving in the voltage source converter we have to certainly do more. And then we are by adjusting the voltage of the DC link in proportional to the grid voltage, which is normally the problems in India. It suits the such solution to India very well. I mean, may not be those features in the, I mean, the solar inverter coming from abroad. So those are the very important things. And I used to say my student, like the algorithm, if you are able to work very well, your algorithm for Indian system, it will work everywhere in the world. So that was the one more important, and those aspects of course my students are able to probably publish in IEEE transaction on industrial electron informatics like. So we have anyhow control as a MPPT, and of course we have a control for voltage source converter, and this is the complete control which I was talking about, that we have a load here. And from this load current, this is another extraction technique of fundamental current with the help of the voltage template. The voltage template we are generating in the same way that you are sensing the grid voltage, and you are having a, I mean, some kind of filter to get a voltage at quadrature and phase, get the amplitude, then get the typically the template, phase template and quadrature template. This phase template we take here for extracting the fundamental. On the load current for only active component of current here. Of course, we take a zero crossing detector with the help of quadrature. I mean, at zero crossing, that is quadrature with the voltage, like that is required for sample and hold to get the amplitude only for active component of current from this fundamental current. We extract the fundamental, but active portion is only, I mean, achieved at the kind of zero crossing of the quadrature at the voltage, like typically. So that we get it, the again active component. This is what we are getting as a loss component, what I talk about single stage. And this is again PV contribution, which we call it the feed forward term. Okay, so that is another typically kind of novelty we put it, that kind of a DC link voltage control here, reference DC link voltage in proportional to the amplitude of voltage, amplitude of AC voltage. So this is the another interesting part. The one is feed forward turn. Another novelty is you are taking the DC link voltage reference equivalent to like a related to the peak, so that the losses in the inverter are reduced. Like, and this is of course the MPPT for boost converter. You can clearly see the duty cycle with the help of that. You get the reference voltage, and you already have a DC link voltage and DC link voltage to calculate the duty cycle and give the getting signal the boost converter like also. So this control, I mean, like as Usta asked, so I just put all the control in a manner, so we are able to get like again MPPT very well, and you can still see it like, okay, we get the typically TID of the grid current around 4.3%, and our the load TID is around 33.37 of this current. And of course, this is voltage source converter. Of course, the power generation here also you can just see by the typically the solar power generation is 3.26 out of, I mean, typically going to be load around only 900 or 0.9 kilowatt, and 2.3 kilowatt is going to the grid. Of course, minus sign represent means power is fed to the grid like coming also. So it works very well even in the nonlinear load condition. We are able to push the power at almost like unity power factor with very less TAD around of 4.3%, where the low TAD is quite high, like a 33.7% like that. So this is the dynamics we are able to, even if you remove the load, the grid current increases, because now entire power of the solar generation is going to the grid. I mean, like when load was there, some power fed to the grid, and some power was going to obviously to the grid, and some was fed to load. But when load is removed, entire power is going to the grid. That's why grid current increases in that case. So it works very well if there is, whether load is there or load is not there. It works well whether solar generation is there or not there. This is the important aspect which I told you, that the AC voltage should go, DC link voltage should be proportional to the AC voltage to reduce the losses in the inverter. And you can clearly see when we have a 170 volt, typically even at rated voltage we are able to provide the saving, but DC link we have to select corresponding to maximum voltage of 270 volt. So here there will not be any difference in two systems, but even at two rated voltage also you are able to push little more power, I mean, compared to when you keep the DC link voltage constant like. But you get a substantial saving here. You can think about here about 2.63 kilowatt. You are going to sit 2.76 kilowatt order of like a typically around 40 watt or so. We are able to get, or 50 watt. We are able to get very well in case of 100 watt virtually, 2.6 watt to 2.75 watt. So 100 watt we are able to more than 100 watt or 125 watt. In the case of like a typically around 2.5 kilowatt or 2.7 kilowatt system, I mean like, so it's around 4% we are able to save in case of the, we are able to push more generation of around 4% to the grid, like, in spite of the losses of boost converter. Like, it means the losses reduction in the inverter have been, I mean, much more than that by taking this new concept that you have a some way voltage between the two difference like also. So that was the single phase. Then same concept we apply extended to three phase also, like a single stage system. And from three phase system also we are able to even compensate the load also here, and we are able to put sinusoidal current into the grid like. Of course, I hope you are aware why we are putting a ripple filter, because we do not know about the source impedance here. How much is the source impedance? So this inductance we have to keep definite. I mean, we can go very high. If we go very high, the cost of inductor weight size losses will increase. If we keep very low, there will be a lot of ripples going into it. So there is an optimum value. But what will happen, depending upon this impedance and this impedance, you will get certainly the switching noise created by the inverter at the point of common coupling. To improve that profile of voltage, you have to keep this ripple filter. Losses in ripple filter, irrespective of the rating, is not more than 2-3 watt, because the resistance we keep around 5 to 10 ohm, and the capacitor value is around 5 to 10 microfarad. So at fundamental frequency, it offers a very high impedance, so that current is very small. But at the switching frequency, it absorbs all this. But switching frequency, you don't have too much power associated with that. So you will have a very low impedance. So all switching harmonics will go into virtually into that, and you improve the voltage profile. Otherwise, it comes like a kind of COM like also. So that's about like again the three-phase single-stage system, and this is the typical control for three-phase. So what we do from three-phase, our voltage, let's say, are distorted. We are sensing only two-line voltage because it's a three-wire system. We cannot have a phase voltage. So we have a two-line voltage. From two-line voltage, we calculate three-phase voltage. Then we pass on it to through band pass filter, because if there are some harmonics into it, so band pass we will get it. Typically, I mean, those harmonics will go, all harmonics will go out of it. You will get a fundamental, and these voltage may be again unbalanced. So when it is unbalanced, we get the typically a positive sequence voltage. This is all problems are only in Indian grid we are talking about. That's the reason we call it like this is another additional control into it on the voltage. And this algorithm will work well in India, though it will work everywhere in the world, because normally in the developed country, the voltage are not distorted. They are not too much unbalanced. But here we might have an unbalance as well as distortion. So this algorithm takes care, number one, for distortion. Another is the unbalance. So we get a positive sequence voltage. Then only we use for calculating the amplitude as well as the template of it. Okay, template of the voltage, in which because that current virtually we have to put in case of in the phase with that. Again, we sense the three-phase load current, and we calculate the fundamental current of this kind of using some kind of filter. So we get the fundamental current here. I mean, and from fundamental and quadrature, these are not phase template, these are quadrature template. So we again have a zero crossing logic detector, not the circuit. It's not a circuit, it's a just logic. I mean, because it's all in processor. So we get only active component, amplitude of active component of current. Since there may be load unbalance, their value may be different. So you have to take certainly all you have to add, because it's amplitude, and divide by the 3, so that load balancing can be taken here. And by dividing 3 means per phase you are calculating. And then the loss component here we are taking again from that. And this is what we are talking about from MPPT. We are getting DC link voltage because it's a single stage system. And DC link also we might have some certainly ripple. So we filter it, use low pass filter. That's the only DC component. And using PI controller, it implements virtually, you can call it the, I mean, your maximum power tracking algorithm, and that we consider equivalent to loss. We have a load component, both are positive. And this is the again feed forward term corresponding to the power we get here. This is minus term. So this power flow is reverse compared to the two power flow in the grid side. Then we get net amplitude, and we have a phase there from template here, the phase in phase with the phase voltage, not line voltage, because the current, you can understand the current are in phase with the phase voltage, not in the line voltage. There is a 30-degree phase shift otherwise, like. So that we take care with the help of this, and then we multiply it with the amplitude with the phase. We get different three-phase current which are at unity power factor, okay, reference current, and we have a sense current here, the grid current, and then we give the gating signal here. The detail of this filter, I mean, from which we are getting a fundamental from your distorted load current, we are getting a fundamental here. I mean, which might have a fundamental sign by it may have a active and reactive, and only the typically here we are getting fundamental, and typically to get only the active component, we use here the sample and hold logic circuit with the zero crossing of quadrature. So this gives the amplitude of out of this here. This is this signal for one phase. The all three blocks use the same kind of filter for every three phase, like A phase, B phase, C phase. I mean, like, so that's the way how it is, the control work well. This is the same control normally people use for shunt active filter, but here we are of course modifying. We are using a shunt active filter as well as we are using for with the distorted voltage condition also. Apart from that, we are using for solar power generation also. So even the voltage are distorted, algorithm supposed to work very well. If load is unbalanced, load is having a harmonic requirement, it still work very well. Okay, and do the single stage MPPT also. All those functions are put into one. And this feed forward term really take care not to avoid the tangent on DC link voltage also. So these are, you can think about like a simulated result, the grid current, supply voltage, grid current, the load current, and then the voltage source converter current when your solar insolation changes. Then accordingly, if solar insolation reduces, the load is reduced, so but the grid current is reduced slightly like here. And this is typically kind of expanded form of per phase quantity. All three phases are there. This is different when you have a load unbalance. So here load one phase is less, that's why the grid current is increased, because solar generation is fixed like on and also. And how the control signal are there, all control signal which are talking about both the template, quadrature and phase template estimated from distorted voltage, then your net component of the load, load active component of current for all three phases, then the solar feed forward and all those PI controller, and then get the net multiplied the template, we get a reference current, and this is the actual current in flowing into the grid, which you have to follow this because of the current controller. So that gives you the total reference, and these are the typical experimentals. You can just see that it's a unity power factor, current out of phase with the voltage, but you can see some phase difference looking like that. The reason being, this is the line voltage, which have a 30-degree phase difference from the phase, typically from the phase current. So you should not get confused. I mean, not only you, but probably most of the reviewer of the research paper got confused. We have to explain properly that this is we can't have a phase voltage here. We have only line voltage for measurement. So it's a 3-wire system, but here it is the phase current like, but 30-degree phase explain about it. I mean, like typically very well here. And this is the load component, load current, and load current TAD 28%, but the grid current TAD of this is only 33.4% or so. And we are able to typically you can call it this is the inverter current. So you can call it the grid is power is 2.83, load is consuming 1.57, where 4.646 is the generation like. So these are all experimental results, means in the sense that it's able to reduce the typically the TAD of around typically 3.4% of this your grid current like. And this is the case typically when you have a kind of unbalanced load. I mean, you have a typically you have a single phase load line to line connected. You don't have a load in the third phase, but grid current are balanced. So apart from that, harmonic elimination is doing the load balancing also on the grid side. You have a balanced load. So inverter is taking care. Of course, if there is no current, you will find this current is the same current here. There is no load current in that particular phase. Only the other two phases are having a current. But you can clearly see here, typically the TAD of the grid current is only 2.4% like also. Well, this is very interesting result in the sense we have a distorted grid voltage, okay, which in laboratory environment also students are able to have a distorted voltage, and then but you can say filtered voltage are here, and from filtered, these are the filtered voltage, you can call it the phase voltage, because these are the line voltage. We are sensing the line voltage, but we are able to get a template in phase and quadrature for a phase, and this is the three-phase voltage, which are filtered voltage, and then you have a three-phase grid current along with the one template. And these are the, of course, intermittent signal which we really estimate in the control algorithm. So it worked very well. I mean, for the different situations also, as I already mentioned it. I mean earlier that the experimental. This is the case like a you can call it two-stage system. We are using a boost converter, then we have a grid. Here also we use the concept that the DC-link voltage should change in proportion to the grid voltage, produce the losses in this voltage source converter, so that whatever additional losses are there. Moreover, now again the rating, PV rating can be equivalent to here of DC-link around like a 700. Otherwise, if it is a single edge system, normally we have found out it should be like a varying the voltage up to 850 volt, what we have here. For 850 volt voltage here, you have to use the devices of 1600 volt. But if you are not allowing this as a more than 700 volt here, of 1200 volt. So that's typically the reduction in the rating, not only the reduction of the cost of the voltage rating of the devices and the inverter, but there is a very substantial important edge because the VC drop under dual-link conduction in IGBT also depends on the voltage rating. I mean 1600 volt will have a VC higher than this one, so that makes the difference here. Typically, like also the control. You will find like our students have used like how you extract the fundamental by another control technique, like another kind of filter, and the remaining is the same in the sense now we are getting like a typically again the MPPT and all that control properly with that. Like, and this is of course the how it goes, the simulated result also, and these are experimental result. You can just see here the typically the TAD here 2.8% of the grid current, also where the load current TAD of this around 27.7%. So it worked very well over a wide range in the sense that we are able to the solar generate 5.05 kilowatt, where the grid, after consuming the load of 1.3 kilowatt, remaining 3.7 kilowatt goes to the grid, like after meeting the losses of the converter of the system totally, like and you can clearly see here how it is, system is working. Even a one phase load is removed here, but you can clearly the grid current is still remains there, but the grid current certainly slightly increases because now load is not consuming that much power, because load is now line to line. You can clearly see it's a now single phase load of line to line from 3-phase rectifier to like a single phase rectifier. It works like a single phase rectifier. Grid to grid current, the grid current increases means grid power also increases. Like, and how during this dynamics of load change, how you're all, because you can call it the active component of current in load reduces, then the second harmonics get reflected, so that goes into all, typically in DC-link and other component also, and this is virtually the dynamics how it take place. Dynamics does not take hardly less than a cycle. Like you can clearly see when solar power generation is changing, hardly a half a cycle is enough for responsible for typically, for this, like, for the whole dynamics, like that. And when voltage is distorted, you are able to extract the fundamental out of it, and sinusoidal you can see typically here the distorted voltage have a TAD 9.1%. But the current TAD here, grid current TAD is only 4.7%. So voltage may be distorted, but control takes care that the grid current TAD is not more than 5%, like typically in spite. So we have to modify the control to take care of the voltage imbalance as well as so it works very well. And even if load is changed, the things typically you can say if load change, then certainly the complete it also take place. So we extended this work for taking a neutral current compensation also, even in single stage as well as along with not only load compensation but neutral current elimination also by adding one lag in the inverter, like even in single stage also, and that's virtually the another method of control what we do it, like and the neutral current of course we estimate by neutral current by adding all the three-phase current. You can clearly see the neutral current here, like it's almost like a negligible three-phase supply current, like also because it's a balanced linear load, so you will not see much linear current health also. But you can see no unbalanced, typically your non-linear load on line to neutral, because it's a 4-wire system, line to they are opposite but equal, but that's why the grid side neutral current is almost negligible, like also. And it compensates, like it's doing all the compensation, what is doing like your neutral current compensation along with the harmonic elimination also, and generating the power also, that all those features are it's already going. And then you can clearly see if you have a load unbalancing also, one phase load is removed, then it's able to feed little more power to the grid because one phase is not consuming the power. And how the neutral current of the both, like a converter fourth leg as well as the load current is changing, so they are just exactly opposite, and the grid neutral current is zero. You can see supply neutral current is almost zero, like, so you take care of the neutral current compensation also. And when your PV, like a PV generation reduces or increases, automatically the supply current, your voltage source converter takes care of that, and the grid current accordingly change, like also. This two-stage 4-wire system, we are able to work out without any problem. So we are able to extend all those features which we did in the single phase, in 3-phase 3-wire, and use another filter for extracting the fundamental and operate the system effectively. Here also we change the DC link reference voltage will be related to the amplitude of the supply voltage so that we reduce the losses in the inverter here too. That features also we put it along with the feed forward term. So these are the modification among our own findings, even for active filter also, and you can see when load is removed, okay, or load is applied, how this is, let us say your converter current and the neutral current is changing, but the grid neutral current is 0. I mean, that's the neutral current compensation comes into here. And then remaining under solar insulation also it works very well like also. And this is a typical case, of course, you can see grid current and the typically the load current and VSC current, how they are modifying. Like we have another kind of 3-phase power analyzer where it can record even the phasor also. You can see the phasor of different quantity, how the phasor remains for load as well as grid as well as typically of the load and inverter. And of course, our student work on multi-level also, because that was the another, I mean, in the part of the project. So this multi-level, 3-level, they are able to run successfully with proper control with the MPPT. Because we don't have a 2-stage, it's only single stage because you are using multi-level. You should not add so much complexity into this. And work well with the proper control. We are able to have MPPT also as well as the solar generation at unity power factor in this multi-level also. If solar generation changes, automatically we are able to work very well with the supply current, like almost sinusoidal phase with the supply voltage when insulation changes. We are able to extend multiple solar also. I mean this typically, and it works very well with different MPPT also with multi-level also, because there is a lot of work on multi-level. So we thought when we are working, then we should not leave multi-level. But multi-level we didn't extend for this power quality aspect. It should not have harmonics its own, but it's, I mean, the filter voltage and all that we do it. But we are able to inject the reactive power also, leading and lagging both also in this feature. That reactive power we are able to, because we expect the multi-level are used in large rating. Reactive power may be required, but harmonic may not be in very large power and large voltage rating. So that's the reason we are not considered like harmonics here. But we consider certain requirement of reactive power as you really give form fact devices also in AC system. And that's about how the TID is kept like below that. Then we extended this work like typically of use of battery. I mean that use of the battery was, if you are adding a battery, then certainly you should take benefit that the power, the effect of fluctuations of the load and fluctuations of the generation should not reflected on the grid. So battery, I mean if you are adding a component, then you should take care of that. So solar generation changing over a wide range for 24 hours. Okay, load is also changing 24 hours, but grid should not see any change here because battery is there to as a buffer energy storage to take care of both variations. So that aspect we took into here, and control becomes very straightforward here. Of course, we put the load compensation. If battery is not there, so all those features we are able to do. Load is not there, then we are able to, battery comes into picture like into here that okay, it takes, I mean the battery start charging when load is less, like also when we are feeding the power to the grid almost like a constant, like grid power is not changing. I mean because it means the variation of the load and variation of generation in taken care of the battery. So when load is removed, battery start charging with more current, and battery, when the load is added, so battery start getting discharged. Like so that features we put all these, and it works well all with all those features with almost grid current constant, and takes care of power quality aspect, all those also with the solar generation aspect also into account, like all those features like on and off. Then we look into that about another aspect also for how this work as a interesting part, like single phase or 3-phase, which initially patented it, then we have a conference paper, then we have a transaction paper. So we added like in a single phase here the battery, but battery we added with the buck boost. Why we added with the buck boost? It gives a couple of advantages that the battery voltage not necessary to be equivalent to DC link voltage. Like a DC link may be like a 400 volt, this can be like a 240 volt, or you can have it 120 volt, depends how much battery rating you want. It's not necessary that battery rating should be larger. The another is this buck boost converter can only give a DC into battery. I mean in previous case, the second harmonics goes into the battery because battery is equivalent to a very large capacitor in farad. So second harmonics really kill the battery, but here second harmonics or lower order harmonic will not go to the battery. So this protect the battery from this and all other features. When now if grid is not there, still we are able to commit the load. I mean after all you are keeping a battery here, you have a generation. So now not only intermittency of the load is there, intermittency of generation is there, there is an intermittency of availability of the grid. If grid is also not available, still you have to commit the load because you have a battery here. So generation might be changing, load might be changing. You have a battery that takes care not only feeding the power when grid is there to feed the constant power to the grid, but also when grid is not there, it should still commit the load also. So I mean you have to justify the use of the battery here, that what additional feature. So it should virtually work as a line interactive UPS also, with no harmonics going to the grid even by the load or otherwise by the inverter. So we are able to operate well synchronization also with all control, similar to what we discussed about it here, and mode shifting, that synchronization, both side voltage should be equal, both side frequencies should equal, and phase should be also equal. Means phase difference between the grid voltage and grid is there, and the inverter or load voltage both should match. Then only you should virtually synchronize to the grid. Otherwise it should go to islanding mode. If any one of this, like voltage depressed, you consider grid is not there or voltage disappears suddenly, then you consider that grid is not there, then you go to islanding mode. Like, so it adds the synchronization. Of course, we do the MPPT, and you will be interestingly see that normally the standard says that it should take around 10 cycles, but we are able to get even 2 to 3 cycles. That you see the grid appears here and we are closing the switch here. So hardly after a couple of cycles, load is not disturbed, because you can see the load voltage remain there. Load voltage is your yellow, so it remains there. Grid voltage coming or going, that's a different issue, but synchronization takes hardly, after grid appearing, hardly couple of cycles, but standard says 10 cycles. And you can say how the angle after appearing the grid, how the angle is floating towards the angle of the, typically of the load voltage. The inverter puts the angle closer to the grid angle, and then once the angle also closed, voltage is already inverter, we have made the grid voltage equal, all their 3 conditions is satisfied, and we close the switch. And closing switch means grid current start appearing here. You can clearly see, like here, typically grid current start appearing here. So that synchronization is there. Islanding is very easy, that you can close the solid state switch and then it goes very well. So we are able to do this synchronization business as well as along with the, and we are able to get the THD quite low even when it runs in islanding mode also. Also. So same thing we did like in case of 3-phase also, that we are able to put a battery here, and now all those features, the intermittency of the generation, intermittency of the load, and intermittency of the grid as far as to the load is concerned, all are taken care into this also. Typically we are able to have, and then you can call it like a filtering of the load. Then this is the virtually in islanding mode working like a UPS, that you have to give a 3-phase reference voltage. You have a load voltage, then inverter current, inner current control is the outer is the voltage control, inner is the current control, and that takes care in islanding mode the operation. Otherwise, when it is a grid connected mode, it works well in the same way as I discussed it. So you have MPPT, you have typically the appearing of the grid, and the load voltage is not. So when the grid appears here, grid is coming here, and we are closing the switch here, and grid current start coming here. But the load voltage are not affected. That's the reason load current are not affected. This is the load voltage, load current. Grid comes and grid disappears. So that's not going to affect the load also at all in that case. So all UPS features, all those we are able to put into that virtually, like also. Then as it is going, solar insolation level is changing. Even a solar insolation 0, it works very well as a UPS, and all those it works well. Like. So similarly, we are able to do that. I think there is another problem with my recent student attempted it, that you have a probably typically the LVRT features also, that we adaptive DC link already talk about. He really given more detail about the adaptive voltage and LVRT also. This aspect also virtually we work out in there. In these features, and apart from that, the LVRT features we put about the derating and unbalanced condition also we are able. Your new standard has come, in spite you have a fault, but still you keep the inverter live, because whenever the fault is removed, suddenly you should come into the operation very quickly. So new code says that you should not disconnect the inverter when there is a fault on the grid, and suddenly when it comes back, you just retrieve the operation at full satisfactory level. And even during the fault, you should be able to feed some amount of power, either some active power, and of course you should give to system the reactive power similar to like fax devices. Like, so it worked very well. We tested all those modes. These couple of PhD student latest, he's in now UK. That's about loss reduction about this. And then he attempted for leakage current reduction also, only by modifying the control, like, and adding some circuit. So leakage current is of course because of, you can understand, because of this coupling capacitance of this, as well as you can call it like a common mode voltage. The concept is, and he followed the standard that all this aspect by adding couple of voltage vectors and the converter, one diode rectifier. With this also he is able to reduce the leakage current also. Typically in the system limit is standard says VDE standard. This says that not more than 300 milliampere current should be there. the leakage current also. Otherwise, it's supposed to be more in that case, like, I mean, also in 6-level inverter, like, I mean, also. So all those aspects, I mean, our student took it. This is about like what all those features like into it. And so with this, I would like to summarize now typically of solar gradient interface system. I think you could have seen not only the solar gradient, but we are able to put all the things related to your Sun filter or DStatCom also into it. Like, I mean, those also taken care. I mean, that's what typically of the latest. So these are some of the publication might be of our own student. He's not able to put all the publication. Might have around 10 to 15 patents also in this area on different aspects like that. So it is okay. Now I'll go probably another one. The UPQCN. Okay. You are able to see the slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
should I start with?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Kindly
Okay.
proceed. Sir.
Okay. So that was okay. I mean, any question on that first part? Or you like to take a question at the end?
At the end, we can have, sir.
Okay. So now the next topic is which is very close to my heart. I mean, virtually I work out on this book around probably even 2005, means 20 years from 95. And every
Sir,
column taken, frankly
excuse me,
speaking,
sir.
around 100 hours. Yes.
Sir, excuse me, sir. If you want, you can have now also, sir. Questionnaire session, no problem, sir. As per your wish, you kindly proceed, sir.
Okay. So I am going UPQC, then we can have a question. Okay.
Yes, sir.
No
Thank you, sir.
So, like a UPQC, because Professor Usha really was very keen on UPQC, it is very close to have gone. I mean, it's a very intuitive virtually it has gone, as I look into. And well, not only my student, like of course my friend who was in Canada, his student also worked, one who did master with me, he did PhD with my friend in Canada, where I used to go for last 25 years. So he did work on UPQC. And virtually not only that, here also my couple of students now did on UPQC, including the solar here also. I mean, we are not using like a simple UPQC. I like to have some additional area also how we can inject the solar also. The reason being, I can tell you, in spite working for 20 years and interacting with the industry also, the very difficult in developing country that this technology can be put. But since you have a solar with it, people accept the technology with no problem. So in the first part which I talk about, we don't need any additional component, but when you really use UPQC, then you use the series converter along with the sun converter, I mean, for putting like for this UPQC like. So well, this is about the some of the how we'll be going about presentation, and you can understand the UPQC is the single solution which takes care of not only voltage power, current power quality problem, it takes care of voltage power quality problems also. So both. I mean, there are many typical cases that where you have a current power quality problem, but they can't accept the voltage power quality problem. Like look into medical equipment. You are in operation theater. Okay? Operation theater, you have a UPS. It creates the power quality problem during its charging. But UPS will work satisfactorily when you give a sinusoidal voltage to it. Because otherwise its production may trip. So, and you cannot say that my supply, I mean, let's say UPS get tripped, because in operation theater, so what will happen to patient and all that. So that's a one typical example I can tell you. Another typical example may be some like a semiconductor manufacturing industry or pharmaceutical industry. Like you cannot afford the trip for either any voltage power quality problem or current power quality problem. So under those cases, the cost is not so important, but important is that the equipment should function properly. I mean, even in a pharmaceutical industry, you have a complete batch of your, let's say, capsule or the tablet for making, and if suddenly supplied have some problem, power quality problem, and the machine get tripped. It's not the cost of raw material; it's only you will be lose the production, because for the cleaning of the total process, I mean, like on chemical side, it will take 3 days to. Because that entire lot will go waste of medicine. Like, so under those cases, it becomes very important that your load might be a non-linear, but still it wants a very good quality voltage across it. Like, so under that condition, the solution is your typically UPQC. Like, also, or we might have even if we are putting, let's say, solar with the sun, But the problem is like your solar inverter is tripping off the shunt converter. So then it needs almost like a constant or regulated voltage to generate the solar generation properly. So in India, we have this problem very common. So in that case, the series compensator will provide the almost the low voltage across the shunt compensator almost like a constant voltage. So that's virtually, I mean, of course, we call it shunt as a D-STATCOM and series as a DVR, but you can even call it shunt active filter or series active filter if it is a harmonics is there. But many situations, I mean, for distribution, I mean, like a company or the custom power devices, you may not have a harmonics. Still, these requirements may be there because of the voltage fluctuations or voltage unbalance in if it is in three phase or current unbalance in single phase, three phase. So you can think about this is the UPQC device, like you have a series conditioner, you have a shunt conditioner. You have a voltage here distorted or unbalanced, but your load is ready to accept only sinusoidal and balanced voltage. Your load current may be, I mean, non-linear, distorted with the reactive power, but you want supply current should be sinusoidal. So this is the device to certify the grid as well as certify the load. And this we call it like unified power quality conditioner or compensator, whatever name you give. I mean, different names are toys in the literature or so. So we expect that the grid's current should be sinusoidal, still voltage may be unbalanced, as well as it may be distorted also. But voltage unbalanced or distorted does not mean current should remain sinusoidal and balanced. Like similarly on this side, whether load current are unbalanced or harmonic, but your load voltage should be sinusoidal and balanced. Like so, what I mean, like of course, the many industry are manufacturing it. This is a typical photograph of one of the industry. Like now we are able to get it, and typically there are of state of art on UPQC that the what D-STATCOM can do, still it can do all the tasks, and what the DVR can do. So DVR can probably compensate more. I mean, not only the steady state, but the tangent kind of compensation also. I mean, normally for shunt compensator, it's not so much challenge for dynamic, but the series compensator have a more challenge for dynamics other than steady state. I mean, steady state, you might have a harmonics in the voltage, you might have a voltage unbalance in the voltage, but in addition to you have these all kind of a tangent also like a sexual, surges, spike, notches. So some are steady state, some are dynamic nature also. And of course, shunt we already talked about previously to that. So what are the components required? I mean, one are Hall effect current sensor, voltage sensor, and another basically require microcontroller or DSP. Like earlier, their cost was reasonably high, but in the last couple of decades, their costs have gone drastically down. You'll find the current sensor order of 100 rupees. I mean, like typically very low cost, and if you buy in the bulk, the cost may go very high, low. And apart from processor, also now have gone to even $4 or $5, not much more than that. Like I mean, so it's not very difficult. Like earlier, the cost of these components were dominating. I mean, we might be getting a power electronics component cheaper, but now these costs have gone down. The cost of power electronics component may not is not changed too much. Like I mean, also, but now in the sense, I mean, this cost of this is not now so high, so it is in the reach now. One can think about replacing the capacitor panel with the switches in case of like this kind of compensator. Like now we classified in different manner, which I classified. One way is the converter. Which converter you are using, whether current source converter or voltage source converter, both can you use it. But the voltage source converter have taken a lead. I will talk about with the circuit why voltage source converter are popular than the current source converter. And then the topology, right hand shunt topology or left hand shunt topology. Both have a concept. We'll discuss that why these two topology concept has come. And once you have two choice, certainly one is good, one is not so good for particular application, as we call about CSC and VSC, like I mean, or something like that. So another is like your supply system, whether you are using a single phase or you are using like a typically like a 3-phase 3-wire or 3-phase 4-wire. That is another classification. And the fourth classification, how you are controlling them. I mean, UPQC means the series is generating only the reactive power. UPQC means series is only injecting the active power. Here only injecting reactive power. Here it is injecting active power, and it is injecting apparent power. Mix of the both. Like I mean, also. So these three virtually control are quite different. There are some feasibility in some mode you cannot operate it, but some mode, I mean, like maybe UPQCS can operate in all the mode, but there may be limitations with the UPQCQ in some mode or so. But anyhow, these control can be classified in because of several reasons. Like we'll come about it like in that. So this is, you can call it right hand shunt. Right hand shunt means we are putting a shunt compensator on the D-STATCOM or shunt compensator on the load side and series on the grid side. Okay. This is one we call it like I think a Prius. You look into this right hand shunt. Okay, that is this. Another is the left hand shunt. Maybe next topology. We'll discuss that also. But this is voltage source converter. This voltage source converter means you have IGBT and the DC link we require capacitor. We have only interface inductor because this generates the PWM. So to take care of the difference, normally you have to have interfacing inductor there. That is different if you have a transformer like here, you know, to need interfacing inductor, leakage reactance of the transformer can work for that. But on DC link, you can see that you need electrolytic capacitor here to sustain. It's a very cost effective electrolytic capacitor of reasonably higher value. So the benefit of there, so here in the losses in converter also less, DC link is also less, and you not need the another even a filter on capacitor filter on this side also, except the small little filter. But when you go to the current source converter on the DC link to realize a current source, you need the inductor, which is costly, bulky, and noisy. Okay, all the drawback. Apart from that, on AC side, because the converter will generate the PWM current, and you want continuous current here, so it means in PWM current means your high frequency harmonics will be there, but you need the low frequency currents or reactive current. So to avoid the high frequency current, you need a capacitor, which is not needed shunt capacitor in case of the STATCOM. Voltage source converter also. Apart from that, when the device conduct, you have a conduction losses of the IGBT as well as diode. Why you have to take a series diode? Because the transistor family, whether IGBT, MOSFET, they don't have a reverse voltage blocking capability or BJT. So it means to have a reverse voltage blocking ability, you have to take a series diode here. So here, of course, we have a diode there also in VSI also, anti-parallel diode, but only one conduct. Here both conduct. If both conduct, losses of both are there while during conduction. So that is one another drawback. But it can also have a PWM. So you can put the switching harmonics to very high order But this is the circuit how it should comply. When I look into the patent, the patent like typically of 89, I found that was with the of UPQC with the current source converter only, not voltage source converter. Maybe that time the voltage source converter was not that popular. Current source converter was very popular before 90s or something. The reason being that. Well, these are the two topologies which I was talking about, the right side shunt and DVR on left side, and another is the DVR on right side, and this is left side. Why these two concepts have come? You know, these all these your custom power devices, especially UPQC, it's a modified version of the fax devices. And maybe Professor Padiyar book he talk about fax devices for distribution system. So this UPQC is an offshoot virtually for distribution system is of UPFC, Unified Power Flow Controller, used in fax devices. That came much before like 1990 around. People like Ingrani and Luigi, they developed the fax devices first, and then they modified that was for transmission system, and this is for distribution system. Because in transmission system you don't have a harmonics, you only have a requirement of only reactive power. But once you come a distribution system, you have a harmonics, you have a unbalance also, load unbalance, voltage unbalance. In transmission system, you don't have unbalanced voltage or unbalanced current. You don't have a transmission system harmonics. The only requirement in transmission system was only reactive power. And moreover, in transmission system, this side was not the load. It is a transmission line. And series compensator put in series with the transmission line, and shunt was put on the substation. So this topology was preferred in case of your fax devices. But when we talk about your UPQC in the distribution system, we prefer this topology. Why we prefer this topology? In the sense that this topology, if you provide the current compensation here, like current compensation in the sense like harmonics, reactive power, unbalanced negative sequence current, all you compensate here, then you will have a sinusoidal current into the series. So the series compensator rating will reduce it. The current rating of series compensator will reduce it. However, the rating of D-STATCOM will not be affected. Because if you are putting a D-STATCOM on this side, the voltage rating of D-STATCOM, because this voltage under sag swell may go even higher than the load voltage. So it means the D-STATCOM voltage rating will not reduce by, in this topology. But in this case, the current rating of the DVR will reduce it because you are putting now sinusoidal balance, sinusoidal and balance current into the, typically in the DVR, in the perfect with the grid. So you will require a minimum current will go through this without distortion. So rating of DVR, current rating of DVR will reduce here compared to, like here. So that's the reason this topology right hand shunt is preferred in case of UPQC compared to this. And that we prove by many numerical also or analytically also in our book. Maybe, few numericals I asked my student to put here, but otherwise you can look into our book on power quality. We have given with the proper examples also of both kinds, and even the many concept. We are not able to put all the concept as a numerical problem because publisher asked like, okay, you cannot put like a contract was probably around 550 plus minus 10% pages. So they say not more than 600 pages. But when you put 250 numerical problems in 10 chapters, so they say we can't afford, so we have to remove 75 sold problem and convert virtually in the same number 175 unsold problem and give a solution manual to the, typically to the publisher, whether they are able to give to, I think to the, typically to the all faculty those you want or something like that. So what this topology preferred compared to this, that's what is the reason, and that I can tell you. But in case of your transmission system, this topology preferred because we want to have a series compensation with the help of series of transmission line also. Well, this is the concept here. You can put like a shunt on left side, which I told you, or series on this side, and clearly from this you can clearly see here. So this topology preferred, which I told, shunt on the load side and series on grid side, because the rate now current here will be sinusoidal, so current rating will reduce. The voltage rating will certainly depend on, you need across the load constant voltage, and this voltage is on changing. So the voltage rating will be difference of the V2, like typically. And that is the virtually for the three phase, the right shunt, okay. Also, you might be seeing some additional component which I told you, like why we put like a ripple filter. We want to avoid the comb of the pendulum voltage here. Like that's the reason these ripple filters are there typically, like also. So that this right hand topology much preferred, and reason I told you why, like also. And you can extend left only 3 wire because 3 legs, voltage are only 3 line, but you might have a neutral for 4 wire, so you have to put 4th leg for that. But there may be many ways of the neutral current compensation that you might be putting typically with the transformer also, like a zigzag other topology also. I hope there must be some topology which I already mentioned, like you have a series of 3, but not necessarily you might have a 3 wire here. But like developing country, magnetics is much cheaper, so you can put a like a your delta star. So this takes care of your typically of your Kaplan harmony. There reduce the neutral current compensation provided here, like or you might have a zigzag to provide the local neutral. Also not necessary to take the neutral from the supply, but you can generate the neutral local here. Means you might have a load 3-phase 4 wire, but the supply neutral is not there. Sometimes the neutral conductor get busted, so you can create the local neutral with the help of zigzag here. But still converter you can have even both of 3 legs also. So there are many possibilities, like neutral current compensation can come with the help of any closed winding you have, either zigzag or the closed winding there. So closed winding can be either by hexagon, polygon, your delta connection. Okay, all these can give a closed path along with this star connection, or you must have a zigzag connection where Kaplan get compensated. So this either hexagon or polygon, which I told her, or you can use the Scott connection or T connection. That also compensate for your neutral connection along with the zigzag. But certainly zigzag preferred because the VA rating of zigzag is much lower than all other topology. Like the benefit of using the T connection or Scott connection is only that you have a 2 single phase transformer, where zigzag you have a 3 single phase transformer. That's another benefit you can think about. Our student work out, all those, what is the typically the benefit or demerits are there for neutral compensation with different transformer connections, like also, and rating calculation also, also like that. So that was about the house circuit configuration, or which I mentioned it about it. And now control. Control can be like UPQCQ, means the DVR responsible only to inject the current voltage at the quadrature of the current, so that you're not injecting any active power, you're only injecting reactive power. UPQCP means you are injecting only the active power. It means you are injecting the voltage in phase with your current which is flowing into the series compensator. And UPQCS, you are looking for different purpose. Like you can think about like minimum AVA rating, minimum rating of the series compensator, or minimum rating of your overall UPQC also. Like because some reactive power you can easily generate from series also. Like here from series you can generate reactive power. Here you don't generate reactive power. Here you can generate some reactive power from the series also, as well as some you can take from shunt also. So that's, I mean, there are different concepts as far as control is concerned, but that affects the rating also. These control affects the rating also up to some extent of typically of series or shunt, and sharing of the rating also it affects, like, so it becomes very interesting. I mean, the UPQCS, which normally we use it, I mean, like typically, but in many cases we prefer sometimes UPQCP also, because the minimum injection of the voltage is in this case also only that you require minimum voltage injection. So rating of this also sometimes is quite lower. Here it is why it is goes the concept that the overall rating will reduce it, because the reason being why it is there normally the both voltage source converters for shunt and series typically both are of equal rating. And you can understand equal rating in the sense, normally for the purpose of inventory, we use the same rating of inverter. So sometime in operational, what you find, one inverter is more loaded like a shunt, but series is lying free because you may not have any voltage power quality problem, or it may not be fully utilized. So you like to utilize the series compensator also for part of sharing the sum of the, so like at least the reactive power it can probably generate it locally. I'm like, okay, so that's, I mean, there's no problem with that, like, I mean, also. Well, this is the like UPQCQ. If you have a sag, you can compensate, but swell cannot be compensated by UPQCQ. And that is the limitations of UPQCQ mode of operation. Okay, sag can be compensated, but not the swell. You cannot reduce the voltage, you can only increase the voltage by injecting this. So that's clearly the explanation that one limitation is there of the UPQCQ. Unlike, but UPQCP, you can, I mean, put the injector, you can take the power or you can inject the power. So UPQCP means you are putting the voltage in series with the current, in phase with the current. So I mean, you will find the rating will be also minimum because you are injecting the minimum voltage either out of phase or in phase. If you have a typically the sag, you add the voltage. If you have a swell, you reduce the voltage. I hope you understand the sag and swell. Sag means voltage depression, and swell means voltage boost. Like, I mean, for short period. Like, I mean, also. So that the UPQCP and UPQCQ is that you are injecting the voltage in a manner, I mean, like a series voltage in a manner that the overall rating of this as well as this, there are many concepts you can utilize in UPQCS, that you are able to utilize the series also for part of reactive power, so that you can extend the range of UPQC, because the shunt not only in single phase is doing the harmonics, but maybe that you don't want to, you can have some reactive power from this also. How you can generate the reactive power? Because the injected voltage, you can put it here, your net load voltage is leading. But for or you can keep lying. So in that way, you can probably generate some reactive power. We have given a interesting numerical example that even the leading power factor, you might have even a lagging power factor, and you can inject the voltage in a manner that I mean, your load current, virtually this current comes in phase with that. Okay, but still load may be lagging. Like, I mean, so only that your injected voltage or load voltage goes leading in a manner that equal to power factor angle. This angle, delta angle, is a power factor angle. So you'll find that you don't need really any shunt compensator. Reactive power by shunt compensation. Only series compensation can compensate for whole reactive power. I hope you are able to follow what I am saying. I am saying that the delta equal to, if it is a phi, okay, then the entire reactive power is generated by the series. Shunt don't need to generate any reactive power required by the load. And that practically can happen. Like, maybe the shunt can be used for harmonic compensation in the sense that both the inverter we want to use, voltage source converter want to use up to some extent equally, and to have a losses also equally, so that their temperature rise is equal, their rating utilization equal, because they might be of identical rating, like also. So that's the basically concept in different modes of operation. And the control, I told you, like, there are plenty of control. I mean, when I wrote the book, I think around my student already implemented all classical 10 control technique. And now you'll find probably, I think, student go on adding, every PhD student go on adding probably, I mean, one of my PhD students work out and 28 control algorithm for the StatCom. And then they go on adding some more control algorithm even for solid interface. They also understand till you devise a new control algorithm, you can probably publish their publication in spite, they have to also change some configuration or so, like whether for solar. So we work out initially with the time domain technique, then frequency domain technique also. Some of my students did it, but frequency domain technique, normally if you look my first paper of review of active power filter, you will find, I mean, they are basically used in instruments. They were not used for compensation. Like you have a paralyzer, you need of course the harmonics as well as phase of them, like, but there the time is not more important because instrument can give you the reading in 1 second or 2 seconds, hammer is not going to fall. But here the compensation is instantaneous, so you have to go time domain technique. But people modify it, some of the technique that they can be modified for the purpose of even for compensation also. I mean, like some of my students work out with typically like even a, wavelet as well as the your S transform or empirical decomposition. So they use Hilbert. So some students work out with these technique even for like compensating for the StatCom or UPQC also. Like, so this is about like how control I mentioned it. So if we talk about UPQC, we already mentioned it how it is, and control becomes quite straightforward. These are the rating calculation which are not given any. I try to prove the analytically the rating, how rating is affected or rating can be calculated in all three control. Like, I mean, this is the way how the rating is calculated. So I will skip it. I mean, like typically, I mean, all is illustrated with the numerical examples in our book. I mean, there are plenty of examples. Probably we put around 25 examples in UPQC with all to explain about rating estimation of this. I mean, rating estimation probably is not given anywhere in the book. Even you will not find numerical problem. But we try to give a rating estimation for DStatCom, DVR, all the chapters in our book. Like, I mean, if you look into like. Also, so these are all calculation of rating estimation. What should be the series injection voltage, what should be the voltage rating of the series injection, then the current rating, and then the calculation of shunt compensator, calculation series compensation rating, and the overall compensation rating, like a DStatCom current. And it's not the same way as we do DStatCom, because the series compensator really affect the rating of shunt compensator also. Or shunt compensator also affect the rating of series compensator. As I told you, once you are able to make the current of unity power factor by shunt, so rating of the your series compensator will reduce it. Similarly, if you are able to probably provide some reactive power from the series, so rating of shunt will reduce it also. So all those aspects are becomes very important. I mean, this is the S mode. S mode have been a lot of cases we are able to get very interesting part of it, like how much reactive power you want to generate by series, how much reactive power really, I mean, you really want to share the reactive power of both, how much active power you want to circulate here. All those were very interesting features we found it in control, like typically the calculation of all angles. It's more the geometry we found, the simple calculation of the schooling level, like it's not very tough. I mean, but one have to derive, so we derive. I personally derive for every numerical problem, really with the around not less than 100 hours devoting and asking my student to verify the concept, not only by MATLAB coding, but they have to run the model and make the model of it and then get the same rating and compare the rating. If it comes same, then only we agree, yes, the model is correct. Otherwise, all the algorithm or calculation are not correct. So that we did virtually each numerical problem of 175 or even 250 column. I mean, I might have devoted like probably around 2,500 hours, probably in 20 years, on deriving all these problems like also. But there is no formula, many formula are not available in the books like also. So this is typically a simple control of SRFT, means synchronous reference frame theory, DQ theory control. I mean, like, okay, typically for the DVR series compensator, and this is for shunt compensator. So some compensator, of course, we have to sense the load current, which I mentioned it, and then you convert DQ, use the LPF low pass filter. I mean, in solar interface system, we work out, I explain you very advanced control technique, not this level of control technique which we put really initially. Because I told you, like, if you don't understand, I mean, we already have a lot of publication on DStatCom, all those, so they cannot publish it, okay, provided they use the new control and better control, fast control, I mean, like, which takes care of voltage distortion also. But for initially for all these were those not there. So we have a load filtering, load current fitting, and we take only the typically active power, okay, component of it here, and then the loss component, because loss component DC-link voltage regulation is the responsibility of shunt, not the series. So this is DC-link voltage calculation, but I told you, like any compensation, whether you have an unbalanced voltage or unbalanced current, or you have any distortion in voltage and current, both converter will be putting the ripple in DC-link voltage of lower order harmonics. Like typically, like you have you will find the second harmonics on DC-link here. Even you have a three-phase, but you may have a second harmonic because there may be either unbalance in load current, or you may have an unbalance in the voltage, or any both. You will get a second harmonic. That's the reason you have to put like a low pass filter here. Even otherwise, it may be like a second, then it may be sixth harmonics. Kind of this depends on the nature of the system, like typically. So you have a DC-link voltage control. This we consider the loss component. This is the load active power component, and we get the total ID, IQ, reactive power compensation, we keep it 0. Typically on the grid side current to make unity power factor, we from PLL we have a phase of the voltage, and then DQ current we convert into 3-phase unity power factor current, and considering that we have a neutral current 0, I mean if it is a 4-wire, then virtually we have a P-long for current controller as a shunt controller. As far as series concerned, what we do it, again we go for typically like a form here we have a grid voltage which may be distorted, which may be unbalanced, which may be harmonics also. So you have, we convert DQ, then we the harmonics or unbalance will appear. Certainly the unbalance will cause second harmonics here in the VSD, VSQ, and if it is a higher order harmonic, there will be higher order harmonics here. So then you have to put a low pass filter here to again second harmonics to filter it out, and you get a DC component. And from DC component, this is corresponding to like your, you want to regulate the voltage, so this is reference voltage from the load voltage, and you have a like a here, because that is required for really reactive power for regulating the voltage from series compensator, and you have another component it, so you use the PLL on typically the, and then get the load voltage here. You have sense the load voltage and you have a load voltage control. So this is voltage control, this is current control. I mean that's the main difference, because here you are compensating the voltage, here you are compensating the current. So it works well. For both we use the SRFT in sequence reference frame theory, DQ theory. So which initially first time in this compensation used by Wisconsin group, and one of my, I mean student virtually professor, who's in now professor in North Carolina, Subhasis Bhattacharya, used first time all these machine theory for the filter. He worked on the, I think he has several patent on hybrid filter. He worked on hybrid filter. When I was in Canada, 95, he was virtually in Wisconsin for doing his PhD, like, and he was working on a sponsored project from the industry, like a Ford company, I mean like. Typically, so they introduced the DQ transformation, like machine transformation for this compensating devices for initially first time. And this is virtually typically for control zone for DVR portion, that's the same extended virtually, and this is for front extended also. And this is about the typically like a 4-wire system calculation, although design calculation. I told you how you can calculate the component. Okay, DC link voltage should be slightly higher than the typically the line voltage, okay, or it should be twice of phase voltage per person, as one has given in his book. So what from line voltage we calculate the phase voltage by √3 RMS 1, then multiplied to peak, then twice of this, and then the modulation index. Okay, also, so we get the virtually the VDC link voltage selection, we round off it. If we get like let's say 670 volt, we round off to 700 volt kind of things. If it is a 415 volt system, depends how you are selecting. If it is a single phase, you will get like a √3 will go out, it will be only √2 times, so 220 √2 will be 311, then you have to only again bring it to around 360 or 400 single phase. But CDC capacitance calculation we do on the second harmonic ripple corresponding to here, as it is mentioned second harmonic, and this kind of relation virtually valid for, I mean so many like a boost converter or other places also we work out, and it worked very well for the design calculation. Then the switch current voltage calculation, all typically like and for series calculation, like how we do, how much, I mean there are many concepts for series, that whether you are considering the voltage fluctuations or you are considering the actual compensation, how the series rating is there. Simple series rating is there, and the current multiplied it, so you get the, even the turns rating you can get it, and the current rating you can get, like, so which we have given very detailed, I mean calculation with the several examples virtually in our book for rating estimation also as an example, as well as the short problem like on. And then the ripple filter calculation or design, I told you like we keep resistance around 5 ohm, and capacitance like we get by calculation, so we get around 10 ohm, 10 microfarad, and this give around 8.33 ohm at 5 kilohertz, and at fundamental frequency it's give around like a more than 300 ohm. I mean I do remember, because I did all calculation corresponding to different values like on. So when you have a like a around more than 300 ohm, you draw from 230 volt only milliampere current. And when you have a I square R losses, so milliampere current become even a very low. I mean, like you have a like a typically if you have a like a 300 milliampere, it will become a 0.09, means like a 90 0.09 multiplied 5. You will find the losses in all three phases not more than 2-3 watt. But it improve the voltage profile like anything on this ripple filter for shunt as well as series compensator like that. Okay. So we, I mean, work out with the control, and you can think about the important is that the voltage you have a sag, you have a swell, but the load voltage is regulated. Okay, you may have a current unbalance, okay, lagging current or unbalanced current, but there are the unity power factor balanced current. Why current is changing? Because here you can think about load is constant, but there is a sag in voltage. So if voltage sag is there, current have to go more to feed same amount of power. Your load voltage is constant, load current is constant, so power is constant. So if the voltage is reduced of the grid, the current have to increase. There is no other magic. Power have to come same amount what load is consuming. You will find very interesting, and of course, this is the injected voltage. Then you have a sag here, also. And typically, you can think about it's a 3-4 wire. So you will have a neutral current. Typically neutral load neutral current appears when you have a D-STATCOM force like current exactly opposite to that, so that the neutral current in the supply is zero. So it takes care takes care of that also like that. So that's about the load unbalancing for neutral current compensation, voltage sag also into it, and it is a voltage swell here. So you can clearly see here when voltage swell is there, in this region voltage increases, the current reduces because the load voltage and load current are constant. So power is down by the load constant. But when voltage increase of the grid, the current have to reduce for the same power. So that clearly in the voltage swell condition, you can clearly see the effect of this. And again, the load unbalancing as neutral current compensation is demonstrated here. So these are of course, the rating calculation and all that. How we select the rating. I just already talked about the design example, and typically the waveform in the enlarged form. How much is we are able to have? You might have a TAD around 80%, but your grid current TAD reduced to around 2.18%. Your voltage distortion is like a 22%, but the current distortion here is on grid load voltage distortion is around 1.47. Also, it's able to do it So another typical example is of performance of different D-STATCOM systems. This is another control algorithm. Typically, here for sun time series, so you can clearly see here is one phase load is removed. So it's a 3-wire system. So it's a line-to-line load is connected. Now you can see the grid current have to be reduced. Okay, and the DC link you will find second harmonic reflected here, typically example. So then you have a different kind of load unbalance also how it gets reflected typically on second harmonic edges on the DC link, I was mentioning about that. Okay, and you have a harmonics in the load, then it gets reflected as double frequency harmonics on the DC link also. So different. If you have harmonics in the voltage, this is injected voltage, which get compensated, so you have a load voltage which are distortion free. So that's about typically you can think about how the voltage distortion is reduced across the load and how the current distortion in the grid current there are reduced. So this is the source. Typically the source current which typically should not have a harmonics. Okay, it is the load voltage also, so both get improved. Then you have a comparison of a single phase UPQC. So single phase UPQC, work in the same way. We are able to work out with the challenge. Sometimes single phase is more because you might not have a probably calculating amplitude. You have to take some filter at the board and all that. This is what single phase DQ theory and PQ theory concept we have worked out. Using that you must have a voltage at phase and quadrature and then two phase and calculation and working out with the single phase also very well. Then when you switch on the series, how it is your voltage across the load becomes sinusoidal compared to your grid current. Grid voltage is not sinusoidal also, but the grid current is sinusoidal where the load current is your non-sinusoidal. So harmonic compensation, so all kind of those features are there. Typically, we are able to work out. So there are some numerical example. I am just skipping. These example. I have already sent the slide to Professor Usha. I hope you can share with them PDF file. Okay, with them. So I'll just skipping this all numerical of variety of numerical. You will enjoy it. We put only around 6 examples, not more than that on UPQC, just to explain about the interesting part that series can do only complete power factor correction also that I was mentioning also. Then, one of recent my PhD student extended UPQC for solar generation. So what we do here, the solar generation, okay, you have a single phase UPQC, but we are putting a solar with the boost converter on DC link of it. So whether this power will go through shunt here in the system back and consumed by the load, or it is put partly with the series also. When it will be partly with the series, when you have a voltage probably going down, you have to boost the voltage, so it will be injected here. But sometimes you have to take a power here when there is a voltage swell, power should come there and then go back. This way, either consume or load. So this is what we have typically, I mean, with the integration of solar in UPQC also. I mean, the SUNT series or UPQC, I mean, have been now probably very old concept, like more than 10 years before people did it. So we extended it, of course, with the recently with the solar, like that what we are able to do with the phasor and modify the control of UPQC also. Only, I mean, control is not too modify. I mean, the only decision code I have to regulate, take care, and MPPT of the solar you have to put, and power once it comes to the grid, to this it taken care of this. Like, so you can just see here, you have a voltage, typically voltage fluctuations, but you can have a typically different solar generation. That's why grid current changes. I mean, like you after feeding the load is going to the grid. You can see the current is typically, I mean, go to out of typically. So this is the load voltage, load current, and shunt compensator current with generating the harmonics as well as generating the reactive power. Typically the harmonics for the load compensation as well as active power it is feeding. And when you have a voltage swell or voltage distortion, it takes care by injecting the voltage, and you see the load voltage is balanced and typically completely sinusoidal and regulated voltage. Like DC link, of course, will have a secondary. It's a single phase system too, but your grid current is sinusoidal, completely sinusoidal, and at unity power factor with the supply voltage also. And this is the inverter current. It takes of course the non-linear load current. So this inverter compensates so that grid current is typically the grid current is sinusoidal and in phase with the voltage. Depends on the power level, so it can go out of the phase also. So you have a typically the here, of course, we are not taking voltage distortion, but you can say grid current, load voltage distorted, load current is distorted, but the grid current is have a less than 5% TAD also. All those aspects we included like in single phase, then we extended this as a 3-phase. You have a solar again here with the boost converter and all these things extended for 3-phase also. We are able to work out typically in that case the compensation by SRF. Initially we use, of course, the SRF, then we use the other control technique or something for that, then series compensator control as I discussed similarly earlier also. And then you can just see sag and swell, but the load voltage is, I mean, regulated, sinusoidal, non-distorted. I mean, like also how the grid current are balanced and sinusoidal, but grid current go on changing. I mean, because you have a typically sag here, current have to increase for same amount of power. The load is consuming here also. So similarly, like here swell is there. So typically the grid current is reduced because load voltage and load current are constant. Load voltage is constant and load current also constant. Because you have not disturbed the load voltage is constant, so the load will draw the constant current only. Like so all those aspects, like we are able to look into like a UPQC here in both cases. Then single stage solar. We extended single stage solar in the sense now SUNT is supposed to do MPPT, as we discussed already earlier. Like so it does the MPPT, it regulates the DC link voltage to desired voltage, which is of MPPT voltage, and operates functionally very well with that voltage. This series compensator also does the load balancing, harmonic compensation, as well as reactive power compensation also. Like so, but here we use the modified PQ theory, like a instance reactive power theory, what is given by Japanese group like Akagi group, which have a book as well as probably hundreds of paper in power quality like so that's modification of the control, how it is there for the SUNT compensator along with the solar power generation. We take again field forward term, which I talk about this STATCOM using instance reactive power theory. We are able to calculate alpha beta and then 2-phase to 90-degree with 3 phases and then have a current control for the SUNT compensator, and then this is typically for the series compensator, like we are able to do it like how. So like, and then of course the performance of it. So you can say solar generation is changing, and solar generation is changing. Like, and accordingly the grid current and load current, all those are compensated. Also, how the voltage is also changing. Typically injected voltage depends on how the voltage are there. Able to work out all those compensation in addition to solar power generation also. That grid current have a TAD around like 1.9%, where the source voltage TAD is so high, but load voltage TAD is again 4.53%. So it is able to provide series compensation, it is able to provide SUNT compensation. By series and SUNT like. So then this is 4-wire system with the typically a solar double stage system is able to work out very well with another control technique using another filter into that, and we call it DSOP double sig what called second called generalized indicator technique. Okay, for that, and the students are able to find out the fault of previous one to get the new aspect improved by DCF set elimination. So many things, they are able to probably do in that case. So that's about neutral current compensation, also along with the other features and load compensation are able to work out also. So with this I'd like to finish it, and these are some of the references. So thank you very much. Professor Usha, if there are any question, I will be happy to.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your valuable presentation, sir.
I don't know how good, how bad I deliver it. Okay.
No, sir. We
Shall
have
I have the question?
very good. Yes, ma'am. Sir, can we have question section, sir?
You can
Discussion.
now have a question if somebody has some question. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Dhalakshmi.
Yes, ma'am. Question from a participant, Ravi Kumar Maji. He has that if source voltage is distorted, what is the condition of PCC voltage with shunt APF? Is it sinusoidal or non-sinusoidal in sense of critical loads?
No, you are saying that voltage is distorted. Okay. Grid voltage is distorted. So what is the question? I'm not able to appreciate.
Sir, I will repeat the question again, sir. If source voltage is distorted, what is the condition of PCC voltage with shunt APF? Is it sinusoidal or non-sinusoidal in sense of critical loads?
Well, I can tell you, you have let us say, why voltage got distorted. The voltage got distorted because you might have some non-linear load, and harmonic current flows into it, so voltage get distorted typically at the point of common coupling. Now, we are not putting a shunt compensator to improve the voltage profile typically by shunt compensator. Shunt compensator is not supposed to really provide a compensation for voltage, but voltage compensation sometimes comes little inherently. Why it comes? Because earlier the non-linear current was flowing into the source impedance. Now that non-linear current is not flowing because you are compensating those non-linear current locally. Okay, so now even the voltage might be distorted by either your load or some other load. If it is getting distorted by some other load, of course you cannot improve the voltage profile. But if it is going to be because of your own load, and your own load, harmonic current you have already compensated, certainly the voltage profile may improve. Okay, little bit to reduce there may be some reduction in harmonics in PCC voltage also. That exactly what I can answer at the moment. But we can certainly guarantee up to some extent with power control, the grid current still can be sinusoidal. It can be much sinusoidal than the voltage. Voltage may be distorted, but current still can be maintained sinusoidal. I don't know whether that's like what our experience is by operating the experimental setup as well as in the simulation.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Sir, another question from another participant, sir, Deepan Chakravarti, and sir asked that is it possible to compensate current in load side?
That's it is.
I'll repeat the question, sir. Is it possible to compensate the current in load side?
Obviously, wherever we are keeping a compensator, we are putting a compensator closer to the load. We are providing, other than active component of current, all the compensation by compensator locally. Like earlier, we were using a capacitor for improvement of power factor. Okay, so what we were improving the power factor not of the load, we were improving the power factor of the grid by providing the reactive power by capacitor to the load locally. Similarly, the shunt compensator provides the harmonics, reactive power, negative sequence current, okay, and reactive current locally. So that will not flow into the grid. So we are reducing all these into the grid, but we are providing this into locally. I hope it is serve the purpose. I'm able to answer.
Yes,
the answer is okay. Yes. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Any other question?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And
No other question?
so far, we don't have any more questions, sir.
Very good. Either they have not understood
No, they might not be understood very clearly, sir. That's why we don't have much.
They are reasonably satisfied. Okay.
Sir, I have one
You
question.
have a good-
Hello.
Yes.
Sir,
Yes.
I'm Ashish Dongre. I have one question.
Mhm.
Sir, during low voltage write-through capability, our renewable energy sources, which are GCI, grid connected, sir, they will send only reactive power to compensate that fault during that time, or it will send active plus reactive power?
Look, well, it depends which compensating. If you are putting only shunt compensator, normally we can only generate the reactive power. We cannot generate the active power. Are you able to follow?
Yes.
But if you have a UPQC, you can have active power also. Are you able to follow?
Yes, sir.
I mean, if you really need, if you have a UPQC, because the shunt can give force series the reactive active power also. Na?
Yes, sir.
Active power can circulate. If you have a solar, you can feed active power also from solar.
So it is required to feed only reactive, or we can feed active plus reactive during LVRT, low voltage right?
So you can put active as well as you can put reactive also. If you have a solar generation, you can put
Yes.
that much active power as much you need it, because the further the rating of your compensator should not increase now beyond a rated capacity. But
Yes, sir.
now the new standard has come that converter should remain connected. Why should remain connected? I mean, you can control in a manner that whenever the, let's say, fault is removed, okay, suddenly the converter should come quickly into action. If you completely
sir.
remove the converter or you can switch off the converter, it will take some time to bring it the system. Moreover, it support up to some extent. I mean, like right through it can support, it can give you reactive power. If you have a solar generation also with, you can take a limited active power as much as your converter can allow to flow it if it is not exceeding the rating of the converter. You can have active power also, or you can reduce the active power, you can put more reactive power. So depends what you need for right through flow. I mean, depends on the network parameter. Na? I hope you understand the network
Yes, sir.
parameter. Okay, so sometimes you need active power, sometimes you need a reactive power, or sometimes you need a mix. So if you have active power from the solar, you can put a control active power also, because not necessarily you have to generate the whole active power from the solar. You can generate partially the active power and partially the active power you can put into it. Okay, for right through. Actually, I hope it is somehow you. I mean, you are able to get some idea about it. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was a little bit confused. That's why I want to clear.
Okay, no problem. No problem. Like,
Thank you, sir.
any other question?
Any other questions from participant side? Sir, one more question is there, sir. From Chandra Singh, sir, he has that. What is the difference between the old THT voltage and THT current?
TAT of the total means total harmonic distortion of current or voltage, na? Or
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
हाँ, तो if your voltage are distorted, then we calculate the TAT in the voltage. Okay. If it is a current is distorted, we calculate the total harmonic distortion in the current. So that is the voltage and total harmonic distortion. But in true sense, we in normal condition, the voltage distortion, we don't consider it in calculating the power factor. I mean, when we calculate the power factor, we consider the distortion factor only for current. We consider the fundamental displacement factor, what we call it DPF, for calculating the power factor, and distortion factor for current. But if it is a voltage distortion, then certainly we have to take a distortion factor of your voltage also, because that distortion also responsible to increase the kVA rating, either of your, let us say, system or your converter. Are you able to follow like comment? So in those conditions, the voltage distortion also, suppose you are fitting by inverter, square wave inverter. Are you able to follow? So that may also cause to increase the some amount of current in the load. So you can't avoid the like a voltage distortion factor also into taking into account when you calculate the power factor. I mean, so voltage distortion is TAT is different than the current is TAT difference. Like, I mean, voltage distortion we consider when we have an inverter, because the inverter TAT should be left that okay, we are producing sinusoidal voltage to feed the load. Okay, your load may be linear or non-linear, but current TAT is when you have a non-linear load and voltage may be sinusoidal as the grid one. I mean, like, I hope it gives the partially the answer to the guy. Like, okay. Any other question?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. We have one more, sir.
I think one
From
more.
Rohini. Yes, sir. Can feed forward and feedback control in PV applications applied only to DC-DC converters or for inverter too?
No, this feed forward control is for inverter, not for DC-DC. The reason, I mean, what I found, I got just idea one day sitting with my student, look, he was facing tuning problem with the PI control. I told him, why you have a PI control? We are not a control man, but we have to operate our converter satisfactorily with the control. And I can tell you, we have to really work with the practical control. We have to make the system working. I mean, like, it's not like a theoretical calculation of we do it. That is different. I mean, lot of trend has come from Japanese or from probably South America, those who are reviewing, or Chinese from our paper, those who are reviewing, and they are asking all the stability analysis and all that. And my students have learned all the things to calculate for Bode plot and all those things they learned with no time. I mean, like, we have an instrument also, it can give Bode diagram directly in the while system is working. I mean, like, because we are continuously interacting with all the equipment supplier also, na, these CRO and paralyzer, power monitors, a lot of equipment are there. Like, I mean, so we have to discuss and ask first the demo that what it features it has, and I asked my group of students to look into why we should buy this equipment over the existing equipment. Like, so we wanted that we must have like a paralyzer or CRO different make. Not only the one make, we don't want to make a happy one supplier. We must have a like a Tectonic make also. We must have a, I mean, a Hioki make also. We must have a typically all different Agilent make also. So we have a different, because somehow some application I can tell typically when we are working typically related to lighting system or low power. I mean, like a Fluke is not able to give the right reading. Okay, so we have to go Yokogawa analyzer. Okay. So we have to, I mean, my concept since beginning have been from last 30 years that we must have equipment of different rating, because some will give us some basic good features in some separating some other rating. But my students have to work out the research for different applications. Like some are working like a, I mean, 4 students work on LED lighting system. Some are working on BLDC fan. They consume very less amount of power. No? Like sometimes LED takes around 10, 8 watt, 10 watt, 5 watt or something like that. And some application takes a little higher power, 1 or 2 kilowatt, something like that. Like, I mean, so that is the reason we have to think about. Okay, I hope it really satisfies the person to some extent.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. And one last question, sir. And still we have 2 more questions, sir. Sorry. Is there any new controller to control D-STATCOM?
Yeah, I mean, my student, look, nowadays my students are not working on D-STATCOM, I can tell you. It is very difficult to push the paper, but D-STATCOM is a one mode like a solar grid interface or grid interface. So whatever the renewable power generation we are doing now, the D-STATCOM mode, like you have a solar inverter. I mean, I want to use this inverter 24 hours. So in the night, it will be working as a D-STATCOM only. And you can understand every student have to come out with a new control algorithm. So they have not left any control algorithm which is really, I mean, you can think about the control algorithm used in biomedical signal, control algorithm used in condition monitoring, control algorithm used in irrigation system. I mean, they are using probably they are going to use all kind of spectrum. Fortunately, now being online, you are able to access once you know the name of algorithm or you put some keyword, you are able to see the algorithm which is, you can't think about, probably one can think about using in your application. So they have to find out like, okay, it is used some application, it's serving your purpose, they bring it to their own application, like maybe like a D-STATCOM or typically your solar interface, and look into whether it is better or not. And now probably because every paper reviewer is asking comparison from previous one. Okay, so they have to run out previous one, otherwise they cannot give a publication, because they want to, the reviewer want that they should expert at least for existing control algorithm which are already used in practice, and then compare with the new control algorithm to prove that yes, it is better controller. It's not like a new control you bring in. If new control is there, then it must have some positive features compared to existing controller. Like typical example nowadays, what my students are looking, if you have a DC offset, okay, I mean, like, okay, it extracts the fundamental from your harmonic eliminate and take a fundamental, but sometimes DC offset is not possible to compensate. Now the reviewer asks why DC offset will come. So DC offset may come that you may have some load which may draw a little amount of DC, but there is a possibility in sensor also you might have some DC offset. Are you able to follow? Because all these signal you are sensing and putting to the processor. Algorithm is running in the processor. If in interface also there is some DC offset is there, that also you are responsible to run the control algorithm properly and generate the control signal properly. Like so I can tell you that there may be a 10-way like how the research going on extending every, and I have to learn from my student maybe completely totally that okay, show me the demo first in simulation and then I go to experimental setup, show me this experimentally also. Okay, I hope you understand what I am saying. Like okay, about as far as
Yes,
new algorithm are concerned. So there is no domain like where because these algorithms are used for many other applications. Like communication is one of them. Why DSP came? Digital signal processor came from communication application. In electrical engineering, we were not teaching earlier DSP. You know, okay. Those were taught in the basically electronics communication to communication signal, and we are using those. Not only we are using both. We are their processor also, we are using their algorithm also. I mean, which year they were, and they were extracting their signal of high frequency. We want to extract our signal of low frequency, of fundamental. So our problem is totally different than them. But if we are able to use those algorithms very at fast, quite good manner, response is quite good of our equipment. And if your response is fast like a PI controller, you can reduce some of the component also. Like typically like a DC link capacitor can be reduced if offset your overshoot undershoot is not so high. I mean so many things comes into that. Okay, many system hardware component also you reduce it, or number of sensor you reduce it. Probably with the control also. Yes, any other question? I hope it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, ma.
Yes, sir.
Kindly mail me, ma. Professor, sir.
Okay. It's okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for answering all the questions patiently. Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir.
No, I mean, if I something learned probably last 25 years in power quality, I mean, if somebody can take advantage of it, it is good and they save their time. They learn because people come with some expectations here. I mean, so we have to satisfy as much as we can. So thank you very much again for giving me opportunity, and probably it is very timely topic you took it, especially with the distributed power generation, especially, I mean, solar and other, which have to be integrated with the grid. So thank you very much,
Professor.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Professor, for your exhaustive lecture given by you. Really, we have listened so many topics. You have covered wide range in the two topics, solar power, PV grid interface system, as well as UPQC. You have listened so many, even the limitations of UPQC you have mentioned like that. Technically, you have explained in detail. Thank you very much, Professor.
Okay, then thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Recording, kindly stop it, ma. Kindly post the feedback link, pa. Dear participants,